Hey everybody, welcome back to the Comic Wall. It's your girl, the Outcast Angel, and today let's talk about issue 15 of Redneck. And what an issue, guys. Like, this one was just, it really, I guess, opened up the door in the way of character development because um, while we're still dealing with Bartlett and the other vampires, excuse me, trying to figure out what's gonna happen to them and where they're gonna go from here, we get more insight into the characters of Greg and Seamus, and so um, we see them here at this bar along with Becca and Winnie, who invited them out to a night on the town. Seamus is having a bit of a hard time, letting loose, having fun, and so she's Becca ends up asking him like, why are you guys so serious all the time? Like, what's your deal? I mean, I blame it on being a country mouse, but your brother is enjoying himself pretty well. And he's like, and Seamus is like, my brother is what? And then we see Greg just tearing it up on the dance floor, his shirt's off and everything, screaming, "I'm gonna live forever." And we see Winnie dancing along with them, and they seem to be having a lot of fun. And this is where Seamus kind of eases up, it laughs about it, and he's like, yeah, I guess I can have some fun. Hold on, my battery's dying, and I'm back with my battery not dying anymore. And Seamus seems to kind of relax a little more, and Becca uses this time to saying like, you can do that too, be happy. And Seamus continues to say, yeah, I know, it's just we've had a pretty shitty year. Like, it feels weird not being back with Dad and Perry and everyone. And Becca brings up saying, you mean it feels weird not to be sad? And she continues to say like, hey man, I'm not trying to tell you to forget all about all of that or to ignore it even. I'm just saying it's okay to not be an asshole to yourself for one night. That's all. I mean, who knows? And you might just end up liking it here. But then we cut to Ingrid's very pale, frame filling face saying exile. And she's talking to Bartlett and JV, and JV continues to say, exile, the Parliament wants us to leave Texas? Well, you go on and tell them they best just kill me if they want. And of course, Ingrid did say that. Um, but she negotiated on their behalf, and they've come to an agreement. Essentially, the elders have allowed them a grace period in which, if the family can stay in the shadows during that time, the council will send an envoy to reevaluate their judgment. And she volunteered to be their chaperone essentially, and she says that for the foreseeable future, you will remain here in Austin under my supervision. And all of a sudden, July walks in. Hearing that, she's not very happy about it, and she she's obviously like just pissed to shit about it. And so Bartlett runs after her saying, July, just hold up, will ya? Look, I know you hate me. I know, and I know I deserve every inch of that hate, but that's when July says, I don't hate you, or I don't think I do. And well, Bartlett's like, you sure you did shoot me in the chest with a gun, with a shotgun? And uh, July obviously had some uh, gearing behind that because they did drive on her property with a tank. And she continues to say, I didn't think I'd ever see you again. I thought that part of my life was over. And that's when Bartlett says, yeah, well, us Bowmans have a way of digging up the past now. And again, it's like you said about, he gets interrupted by July saying, when did you start doing that? Calling yourself a Bowman? You aren't a Bowman. Excuse me. Hiccups. Your name is William Bartlett. And out of habit, Bartlett's just started calling himself that. He's been stuck with the Bowmans longer than with his own, excuse me, hiccups, with his own family anyhow. Um, it's just easier for the little ones, he guesses. And so, um, uh, what's it called? They start talking about like just everything that's happened since issue one, of course. Since Slap died, which was issue one, huh? Yeah, it's been wow. We're already in a third story arc. That's amazing. Anyway, um, what is it? Um, they sit next to each other and they start talking more about like everything that's gone on with the Landrys, with the New Bloods, with the showdown in Waco, and then um, Bartlett continues to saying how he had talked to Landry, telling him all the bad stuff. He mentions, I said there's good stuff too, and at the time I don't think he believed me when I said it, or maybe he didn't believe that I believed it, but I did. I really did. And he says something so adorable to July by saying, I guess I wanted you to know if you were happy, or I wanted to know if you were happy, if you'd found some peace, because right now you're the only good thing my rotten blood has ever made. And July considers this, and she walks back into the house, and then she comes back out with keys to a truck, saying, "Come on, I need to show you something." And then we cut back to Seamus and Becca, just talking. Really, they start talking about like blood, what they drink. They actually drink human blood, but um, they they no, they drink cow blood, but they do something different than what the Bowmans have been doing, because the Bowmans open up their own barbecue restaurant and everything, So they kind of just drain the cows and then kill them off for food, you know? Not that they need to eat or anything, but Becca brings up a point like, you don't have to kill the cows. You can, like, take some as you need to, and, um, and, keep them alive. Like, why bother killing them? It's just a waste. They go into Becca's, I guess, well, her past, really. She says, I was homeless and I came to work on July's farm. Well, not that long of a story short. It turns out I also had cancer. I didn't want to die, so July fixed it. And so, essentially, July is Becca's sire, I guess, if that's what they refer to them as. And so, uh, they continue to say, like, she appreciates this. She has a new lease on life, And so, we actually find out that Winnie isn't Becca's boyfriend. Like, she says, like, yeah, we fuck around sometimes, but we aren't together or whatever. And she brings up, like, have you guys, I mean, certainly you know. And he's like, what? I don't know what you're talking about. And then the next scene, we see them in bed saying, oh, that. So that's interesting. I I think I was a little confused because I was like, is Becca even old enough? I mean, she's eternally young for whatever reason. So what is old enough? But no, I think she's like in her 20s. Anyway, um, Seamus turns to her saying, "Hey, did my brother make it home okay?" And then we see Seamus and Greg and Winnie in bed, and Greg's like, God, I love this town. Wow. So ever since issue three, when they came out with the Pride Month variant, I was a little confused as to who exactly was gay, because they have Greg and Seamus on the cover, but they never outright said who it was that was, I guess, the gay brother, and so um obviously this proves like who's the gay brother, and I was just like, yes, I was just so happy about it. Anyway, now we see Bartlett and I forgot her name for a second, July, driving up to this house in the middle of the night, and Bartlett's like, I don't know what I don't know why you dragged me to the suburbs and won't tell me. And July's like, just look. When you left, I maybe did some looking around into the historical records of your family. I found this. I found them. And she's like, they aren't vampires. These are your people, your descendants. That family in there, uh, those are the Bartletts. And Bartlett just looks, his baby face is just so adorable. Anyway, he obviously looks surprised to hell about, well, this revelation, and it's just, oh, what's gonna happen from here? You know, like I just I can't wait to see where we go from here. I always say that, but it's true. I can't wait. Anyway, that's the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys liked it, and if you did, drop a like, show the love, hit that subscribe button to get more of my videos, ring the bell to get notifications of when I post new videos, so that way you guys stay updated and don't miss out. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.